Alright guys, welcome back to another one. I am the Gold Standard, and today we are in it with Purple Luffy, or Pluffy as some people like to call him. And guys, honestly, this deck is so fun to play and you really shouldn't overlook it. Especially if you're looking for something that's slightly off meta, but can still trash people at locals. And honestly, if you're not going to play it, you should at least still know how it works so that you can beat it. So guys, sit back, kick your feet up, and let's play some One Piece. So I want to look at this deck list from two different perspectives today instead, because there are so many videos about just Pluffy in general. I want to give you specific lines of play, in particular to counter black decks, and then I want to give you some tips and tricks for going up against Doffy, because although there isn't an exact line of play that works really well against him, there are some ideas that can help you out. So up first, let's look at the odd curve, and this is assuming that you're going first, because honestly with Purple Luffy, you pretty much always want to go first, if you can. So turn one, you're going to play your Searcher if you have it. If not, you just pass the turn. And at the end of the turn, you're going to have one Dawn, and you're going to pass to your opponent, and they are going to do whatever they're going to do, and they're going to end their turn with 2 Dawn. Then what you're going to do on turn 2 is you're most likely going to swing with your leader first, then ramp, and then if you have it, play Zoro. Now, for both of these Searchers, what you're trying to dig up are the parts to Luffy Taro and the Sanguro. In particular, you want Luffy Taro because, there's a ton of Straw Hats that can be played off of him if you have them in hand. So really, the priority is Luffy Taro. At the end of this turn, you're going to end with 4 Dawn, you're going to pass to them, and they are going to do whatever they're going to do and end their turn with 4 Dawn. Now, it should be noted that if you're playing into Lucci or somebody, all they can really do here is maybe play a Lucci and maybe a Rebecca, but it's going to be very unlikely that they remove Zoro here. So turn 3 is where things become a little different, because what most people would do is they would ramp again and just play the Luffy Taro Sanguro combo. But really, what you want to do here instead is swing with your Zoro if you have it from the last turn. Swing for 6 with your leader because you can put 1 Dawn on and still have 5 left over, and then play Magellan. Because what happens here is you actually protect 1 life, you end the turn with 5 Dawn, but when you pass to them, their turn, they only have 5 Dawn to work with. And this means that they can't play Gecko for another 2 turns. Now, during their turn, they have to get rid of something, and you have these 2 on the field, so most likely they're going to get rid of Zoro, and then they swing into you. And now you don't have to worry so much about taking that life because you didn't actually ramp on this turn, and you're still most likely at 4. Now, finally, on turn 4, you unleash the Luffy Taro Sanguro combo because you've just naturally gone up to the 7 Dawn from 5 here, and you'll end this turn with 6 Dawn, potentially 3 bodies, including Magellan, that they just do not want to remove most likely, because if they do, great, Gecko's never coming. And you now have a threat in the form of Sanguro, who is going to draw you cards, and an 8k attacker. You pass to them, and they end this turn with 7. So the most that most likely is going to happen on their turn is they're going to be stacking up blockers. And so you can see, guys, that this curve, if you can hit this curve, frankly, if you can hit this against every opponent, it's going to be very hard to stop. But in particular, in the Lucci matchup and the BY Luffy, this thing just absolutely punishes them. Now, I will say there is an argument if you don't have Magellan to play something like the 4-drop Law Blocker here instead, because you're still getting cards out of their hand and it's still burning resources, and there's a good chance, there's a chance that you can get them to discard a Gecko, and you're still developing bodies. So that's the odd curve. Now, before we jump into the even curve, guys, if you are getting some value out of this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. It really does help me out on my quest to 1,000 subscribers, and it lets me know what content you guys like so I can make more of it. Now let's jump back in. Now, if we look at the even curve, it's basically a similar thing, but there's some key differences around turn 3. So you're going to still play the 1. You're at 2 Dawn. This is assuming they went first and they've done their 1 Dawn turn, so searched, it goes to you. You now play your search for 2 Dawn, maybe leave 1 up. Goes to them, they do 3 Dawn. Most likely they attack in for something, maybe 8 or something like that. So you pretty much have to take this one. Turn 2, you're going to ramp and you're going to play your Magellan, because you're going to go from 4 Dawn to 5 Dawn with your ramp and play the Magellan, swing in with your leader. That means that on their turn, they're going to end with 4 Dawn. So again, they're not going to most likely be able to remove the Magellan from the last turn, and you get to keep an attacker, and the most that they're probably going to do is a Rebecca, some attacker down. Now, when you go into turn 3, here's where the options are, because if you actually have a second Magellan, 100% it's worth playing, because this gets you down to 5 Dawn at the end of the turn, but it also puts them at 5 Dawn at the end of their next turn. And so now they've gone 1, 2, 3, 4 turns, and they're still only at 5 Dawn, which means that they have to go 2 more turns before they can even think about playing a Gecko. And in that time, you can just develop a massive board. And also you have 2 Magellans on field that they're just not going to want to take care of. So assuming you have 2 Magellans, that's what you're going to want to do. Now, if you don't have the second Magellan, you're going to ramp and you're going to do the Sanguro Luffy Taro combo. You're going to end your turn with 6 Dawn and they're going to end with 6 Dawn. So in that case, they've gone 1, 2, 3, 4 turns, and only on their 5th turn can they play Gecko. So yeah, guys, those are kind of the ideal curves. And obviously you can throw little curveballs in with Blocker Law, or depending on what your Magellan setup is, or your Luffy Taro. But this is kind of what you're shooting for. And let me know, guys, in the comments if you like it in this format versus just showing you with the cards in the sim. I think this is pretty clear, but you let me know. Now, once you're at turn 3 or 4, the last card that I really want to bring to your attention is Usohachi, because with this card, it's on play if you have 8 or more Dawn, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. With this card, basically, if they're running, you know, Sabos or any blockers on field like Rebecca or something, you've developed a pretty mean board at this point, and now you can just rest any blocker that's in the way and swing for game. Now, let's take a look at what happens if you're going into Doffy, because the Doffy matchup is very tough, really for everybody right now. So obviously Luffy Taro into basically anything is going to be important, because Luffy Taro can't actually be removed with Gravity Blade, and so they have to choose between one or the other if they're going to, you know, Red Rock Luffy and leave, you know, Sanguro on field, or if they're going to Gravity Blade Sanguro and maybe, like, you know, your Searcher or something. The other important point of this matchup is that your blockers are going to come in very handy, because they're going to get a very wide board, and a lot of these 6k blockers can actually be very handy because it forces them to use more Dawn to swing into your board or life. Then they can't get as many, you know, Jimbes and Boas and stuff like that out. Also, Magellan is actually a very useful card in this matchup, because not only does he throw off their curve a little bit, but they're forced to use their Gravity Blades to remove him. So generally speaking, the first like turn or 2 that you have a Magellan down, you're going to be able to use it to attack either into board or life, because they're not going to attack into it, and they're pretty much just going to leave it alone. Once you put down something else, then you have to worry about Gravity Blade taking care of both of them. But then that's one less Gravity Blade that they can use to remove blockers as the game goes on. And then finally, I think Kaido in the Doffy matchup is insanely good, because he just flat out bodies one of their 4-drops on play, and then you can use him to attack into board or life right after. And then finally, Usohachi is just clutch in every matchup, because, you know, you can rest the Boas in this matchup and either clear them off the board or just swing into life. And for 3 Dawn to rest a blocker like that is pretty insane, honestly. Now let's talk about the main weakness of this deck, which I feel like should be pretty obvious based on what you know about his leader ability, which is that it takes your own life for Dawn. And so you really have to avoid the tendency to overuse his leader ability, because this puts you in a bad position in the mid to late game. So this is why I showed you those lines of play earlier, so that you can actually see how to get to the middle game with only ramping 1 time, because in truth, I really believe that you should only ramp once, maybe twice with Luffy in most matchups. Cool, guys, that's all I've got for Pluffy here. I really hope that you take him to locals and just absolutely obliterate people with him, because it's super fun. Also, in the gameplays, you'll see some slightly different cards because I was playing around with different versions of the deck, but this is the final version that I settled on that I think works really well into black and gives you some options for Doffy. So guys, with that, as always, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and let's get into some gameplay. In it with a Lucci, and we'll definitely take first. Honestly, I'm gonna keep this. This is a great hand. It's pretty good. I have the Luffy into Sanguro play. Yeah, I kind of like this. It's tempting here to play this out. If we could get him to take the life here, but that's so tempting. Well, let's swing either way, see what he does. Okay, yeah, he counters. Cool. Take the life. Drop this, grab, and dude, that could be fun too, actually. That's the only one I play in here. Would another Luffy Taro actually help us though? Probably. But if I take this, he knows that I have that, which is, it's easy to plan against because there's so many blockers. So let's go here. Like, he just has so many chances to get Rebecca's and stuff, and without an Usohachi, it could be a bit of a problem. Because next turn I can ramp again and go into Luffy Taro Sanguro. And yeah, see, he has to do something here like that. I don't really want to ditch this, but in fact, I'm not going to, just because I do think there's a possibility to use it in this match. Okay. Oh, Usohachi. This is going to be clutch later, guys. Absolutely clutch. So Let's swing 5 first. I mean, we could trigger something potentially that gets this out, but I assume he'll counter the 5. Takes the 5. Okay. Okay. Cool. Let's go 6. Keeps the blocker up. Interesting. Takes that. We will go Luffy into Sangoro and end our turn. Yes. And now this is already online next turn because we'll be at the 8 Dawn. So, and we have like a Luffy into Furnosuke play later, which, I mean, that could be super clutch in this because you can just stack the 3 extra on here. We'll see. We'll just have to see kind of what he does here. His Dawn is low. We didn't get a Magellan, which would have really helped us, but we have a decent board here. I don't know that he could get rid of 2 of these things right now because it would take a lot of, it would take like, gives 5 off. Furnosuke. I do think I want to drop, I still want to keep this. I know, it's crazy, but I think it'll help. I truly do. Okay, gets this down. Interesting. So what's he do here? Oh, okay, that makes sense. You got to get rid of Sangoro here because I'm just going to get so much value out of it. Well, this is off now. Probably worth ditching that, but that's all right. Let's go 6 here. Okay. I almost don't want to give him those life cards, but I think we have to. I think we have to. Because he'll be at 8, so he can Gecko this next turn. That's for sure. But if we go Sangoro here into, or if we go Luffy into another Sangoro, we have a pretty menacing board right now. I have 2Ks, I have, a 1K here. I can also drop the blocker, depending on what he does. If he just Geckos here and recovers stuff from trash, and if he's close in life, we could make this work next turn. We'll see. Also, this is going to be clutch because he's going to probably put out a Rebecca, and Furnosuke is potentially useful too here. So we'll just have to see. Double Luffy Taro here was kind of lucky, honestly, guys. My man's is thinking. Okay, 2, Sangoro. Yeah, you got to get rid of that. Ooh, Jack. Okay. Just KO the Jack, or KO the Sangoro. Got it. Drops a card. Kind of okay with that, honestly. Because his hand is pretty soft right here, guys. Pretty freaking soft. And he has no blocker. I mean, I could also just get Jack out of here. And he didn't swing on our life there, which is very strange. I think we have to just go for it here. Because we can go 9, 9, 9, 9. Yeah. I mean, we pretty much have to. Hopefully he's just playing a ton of bricks here. Jesus, guys, that might have been the fastest Lucci match I have ever played. Yeah. Oh my goodness. What a deck, guys. Holy. GG's. All right, we're in it with a BY Luffy, so we'll take first here. We have a Luffy Taro. I don't have Magellan or anything, though, and that's what I kind of want to see against this. I'm going to mulligan. I mean, basically the same hand, but slightly worse. Hopefully we can rip a Luffy Taro off this to play on the Sangoro. This could help us too, a lot in this matchup. Okay. Also could help us quite a lot. So I'm assuming he'll take this, because that's what they want to do. Take our life. Oh, that would have been nice. 1 turn ago. Luffy Taro, baby! Alright. Let's end our turn there. Yep. So see, here's where I want the Magellan. Like, if I could draw into a Magellan next turn, that would be absolutely ideal. He whiffs on the Garp there. Really? Wow. Okay. Swing 8 on us. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna... Can't do much there, huh? Oof. Okay, so do we ramp here? See, I don't think we ramp here because what I think we can do, like I can develop this next turn. It could be slightly better. So what I kind of want to do here is force him to take another hit. Let's see if he'll take this hit. Yeah, cool. That's a trigger. That's going to be annoying. Okay, cool. Yeah. So we'll go here. Use the card action. Burn 2 cards. We burned a gecko from his hand. Pretty good. Pretty good. Do we attack here? I don't think I'm going to. Because he's kind of in a weird position right now where he has to do some funny things with his life. Otherwise, we're going to put a lot of pressure on this next turn. I guess I could have taken one more. But I didn't really want him to like Hiyori. Like now he's just in a weird position. And like we've got our Usohachi. So even if he puts down a blocker, like say he just plays Sabo right here, it's kind of good. We'll see. We'll just have to see. My man's is thinking though. Let's organize these 2Ks a little bit. So he swings for 6 here. Yeah, so I'm assuming he's gonna play a Sabo here. Rocket Luffy gets rid of the... Okay. Doesn't get rid of the blocker, though. Which... Okay. You know? So we go with Luffy Taro to Sanguro here. I think we attack 5. Because we can get him down to 1 more. If he has a Gecko... Nah, we're just going to leave him. Into Sanguro. And we'll end our turn. Because here, it's like he can't play Gecko. He has to Flampe if he wants to use these. Yeah, to Hiyori. Now he actually has to load probably a Luffy there. Kills this one with another Egghead Luffy. Nope, Rocket. Or Punch Luffy. Supernova Luffy. Okay. Sort of okay with this. Because what does he do here? Take his own life, maybe? Load 2 more on here to activate leader ability and then put some stuff in there and play one of them? I don't know. That's a weird play, but it's doable. It's very doable. So we have an interesting... Okay, so he finger guns us. And he swings 9 here. So yeah, you can absolutely have that. 2 Usohachis. Great. So he's a 7, and he has 5 cards in hand and 1 life. So I think we pretty much have to go for 9, 9, 9 here and hope that we get game. Because going another turn is sort of silly here. So we'll see what we can get from his hand. Because this would be 2 cards. It'd be a 2K and a 1K. Swing again. He could have it. He could absolutely have it. Ooh, 3 cards there. Yeah, so I think we kind of have to go for this. Let's go 8, see if he has a 2K, and let's go 9. Yeah, he got rid of a counter there too. I don't know why he did that. Let's see what he's got. Yeah, GG's. Wow, good game. Ripping BY Luffy like that feels pretty good. Pretty good. GG's. All right, we are in it with a Doffy. So he's picking a turn. Let's see what he gives us. Okay, they're going first. Problem is Magellan would be nice right now, and a Luffy Taro would be nice, and we are not seeing either of those. So let's ditch that. Okay, Magellan ain't bad. Sorta. It's at least some kind of play. Like I was hoping to go Magellan into Luffy Taro, but it ain't happening. Yeah, we got to take this first one because that's a lot. I'll do it. I got to take a life. So he'll be a... This is tough. Let's go Sangoro. See if we can't drum up some cards and stuff by doing that. If we get a Luffy Taro next turn, I also forgot to attack. Okay, Jinbei into Weevil, draws. Man. Just not very good cards right now. Let's see. Let's get the whiff. Okay. Yep. Honestly, we have to go here. We'll go here. Go here. End the turn. Takes both those, okay. Searcher. I mean, shoot, I might drop another Magellan next turn. Well, we could probably return the Weevil. Actually, I have to protect that because he starts swinging at life with the rest of them. Which one do we want to use? Which one do we want to use? He gets one more attack with the leader. I'll let him do that. That's fine. Okay. It's all yours. It's all yours, dude. So we're at 8. Let's go here, see if we can't get any counter. And I have 8, so we can Nami. We can get the 1, draw 2. What's he at? 6, so he'll be, if I play a Magellan, he would be at 7. I mean, there is something to be said for that. Something to be said for that. I think we'll do that. And drop the hammer on Weevil. End the turn. It'd be nice if he attacked into this, which he doesn't, obviously. Jinbei's he's not gonna help us right now. Ooh, 5. So what's he play here? 2 blockers or something? He can have that. Craft blade. I thought he was at 6 Dawn. Okay. So we go here into here. So that gives us 2 Dawn to work with. So let's clear Jinbei. Let's go here. And let's go here. And we'll trash a Lin. I don't think we need 2 of those. This could help. This could help. Gets the search down. I don't want to take that one. I'll give him the 2 here. Well, I guess I could give him the blocker. Yeah, we'll give him the blocker. Because I'm going to put down another blocker this next turn. Yeah, Jinbei. Ooh, yeah. Jinbei Weevil. God, look at that. Freaking. Look at that. That is ridiculous. So we got to drop 2 cards from his hand for sure here. Yeah, so let's go here. Drop 2. Get the Jozu and 2 Jozus. Cool. All right, so we're at equal Dawn. I think we have to go. Well, I don't want to trigger a Grav Blade necessarily. So what do we have? 4. So let's go 7, 7, 8 here. Play this guy. What do we get? A Straw Hats? I think we need to take the 2K. Last Breath would have been good too. But we'll take the 2K. All right, we'll see what he does here. Gets a lot of attacks. Seven. So what's he got? 7, 7. I mean, one of these we have to get out of. So he's got, what, 4 more attacks here? And we have to survive. I think I have to take this one because, yeah, I'm hoping for a 1K, because if he does another 7, we'll just get out of it. Yeah, so this one will counter. I'm assuming he's maybe got another one of these in hand that he's going to bounce this back with. And he can do 2 more 7s, which I have enough counter for. So I'm going to give him the blocker, because I want him to commit with this. Yeah. What does he load? Oh, he's just swinging? Okay. Yeah, I legit thought he Okay, and he didn't put a blocker down. Interesting. So would he go 9? Let's go 9, 9, 12. Let's see if that cuts through. So we got to go 9 here. I mean, if he's just got a hand of 2Ks, that's game. So let's go 9, 9, 11. See what happens. Ooh, we got it. All right. Yep, I thought he had that for sure. Surprised that he didn't put a blocker down there. Like, that's what he needed to do. If he just would have put one blocker, he would have won. I mean, I had this, so maybe not, but what counter did he have? Not a lot, actually. So I don't know. I might have been able to get it with the Usohachi. But, wow, GG's. That was close. That was very close.